Hello, Ray. Thanks for watching. So this is Campfire Stories with the Derry Public Library and the Taylor Library. In the last few years, we were able to get together at the Taylor Library and we'd sit around the campfire and listen to the stories together. But this year, we're going to do something a little different. We have the video. So I encourage everybody to kind of make maybe your own campfire at your house, and then you can sit around, listen to these stories and these songs together. You can do it as a family, and then maybe you can make your own s'mores, all right? All right, we're going to get started. Okay, this is our first story, and all our stories today are old folk tales, and the versions that we're doing have been retold by Judy Stiera. So this one's called The Stone in the Road. Long ago and far away, there lived a king with a kind heart who would do anything for his people. But one day, the king realized that his subjects were growing lazier and lazier. It seemed that they never did anything for themselves anymore. And what was worse, they seldom did anything for each other. The king wondered if there was even one person in his kingdom who would go out of their way to do something to help another. He decided to test them, and at the same time, to teach them a lesson. Late one night, the king rolled a huge stone, almost a boulder, right into the middle of the main road of the town. Then, he secretly placed a bag of gold under the stone. He stood nearby on the side of the road, and the next morning, he watched and he waited. Just after dawn, a woman passed by on her way to the market. Because of the stone, she had to walk around into the mud on the side of the road. "Someone should really move that stone," she said in an angry voice. A short while later, two students walked by on their way to school. "What a nuisance!" said one. "Why doesn't the king move that stone out of the road?" asked the other. And so it continued all day long. Some people blamed the king, some people blamed the stone, and some even kicked the stone as they walked by. The king grew sadder and sadder. Just as the sun was about to set, a young girl passed by when she saw the large stone in the road. "I'd better get this out of the road," she said. "Someone might come down the road at night in the dark and not see it and get hurt." The girl pushed and pushed at the stone. A man tried to stop her, saying, "You don't need to move that stone. Let the king take care of it." But the girl kept pushing until at last she was able to roll the stone out of the road. It was then that she saw the bag of gold that was under the stone. Everyone agreed that the girl deserved the gold. The people of the kingdom were more than a little ashamed that they had not moved the stone. After that, they began helping each other instead of waiting for the king to do everything. And that's the end of that story. All right, so we're going to start off today with a song, and this is fun, just kind of campfire songs you can sing along, you can sing with your family, and this is a call and response kind of song, so I'm going to sing it, and then you sing it too. And I want to thank Miss Michelle. You can't see her right now, but she's singing along with us right here, over here by the campfire too. So it goes just like that. The other day, I saw a bear,
a
big white bear.
bear.
I had to stare. He stared right back
He stared right back
and seemed to grin.
and seemed to grin.
His long white fangs
His long white fangs
hung to his chin.
hung to his chin.
He moved toward me
He moved toward me
upon four paws,
upon four paws,
and those four paws
and those four paws
held 6-inch claws.
held 6-inch claws.
I couldn't move,
I couldn't move.
my feet were froze,
My feet were froze
as I saw steam
as I saw steam
shoot from his nose.
shoot from his nose.
But I was safe
But I was safe
because I knew
because I knew
this polar bear
this polar bear
was at the zoo.
was at the zoo.
Okay, our second story today is called The Mouse, the Rattlesnake, and the Coyote. A mouse was running across the mesa, scurrying among the stones, looking for seeds to eat. "Help! Help!" a tiny faraway voice called from under a nearby rock. The mouse stopped and listen and look. "Please, move this rock," the voice cried. "Roll this stone over and let me out." The mouse pushed the rock with his paws and nudged it with his nose until at last the rock had been moved, revealing a hole in the ground. Out of the hole slithered a rattlesnake. He hissed and shaked his tail rattles. When he saw the mouse, he wrapped him up into his coils. "Let me go!" cried the mouse. "I moved the rock! I set you free! I saved your life!" "You saved my life because you are a kind-hearted mouse," said the rattlesnake. "I am going to eat you because I am a hungry rattlesnake." "But you should be grateful and spare my life," argued the mouse. "If it weren't for me, you'd still be trapped under that rock in the hole in the ground." "Rattlesnakes are never grateful," said the rattlesnake. Just then, Senor Coyote came trotting by. "Hey, Coyote!" cried the mouse. "Is this fair? I saved the rattlesnake's life. He should be grateful, but instead, he's going to eat me." "What?" asked Coyote. "How did this happen?" The rattlesnake was trapped in a hole in the ground, under a rock. I moved the rock, and I saved the rattlesnake. But now he wants to eat me. He should be grateful." "No one says rattlesnakes have to be grateful," said the rattlesnake. "And besides, I'm hungry. I was trapped in that hole, under that rock, for a long time." "I don't understand," muttered the coyote. "This doesn't make sense. Didn't you say the mouse was under the rock?" "No! I was under the rock," hissed the rattlesnake. "I just don't understand at all," said the coyote. "The rattlesnake rolled the rock off of the mouse?" "No! The mouse rolled the rock off of me," the rattlesnake corrected him. "Please be so kind," said the coyote, "as to show me exactly what happened." "I was in here," said the rattlesnake, letting go of the mouse and slithering back inside the hole. "Was this rock on top of you?" asked the coyote, pushing the rock back on top of the hole. Yes! "Now let me out!" the rattlesnake cried, but his voice seemed far away and small. "I will leave that up to the mouse," said the coyote, as he trotted away. And that is the end of this story. All right, it's time to do another song. So we did this song last year, and this was everybody's favorite, and I did it for a few times in story times at the library afterwards, so I figured we'd bring it back. So this is the song about the moose, right? Fred the Moose. It goes just like this, if you don't remember. There was a great big moose.
There was a great big moose.
He liked to drink a lot of juice.
He liked to drink a lot of juice.
There was a great big moose.
There was a great big moose.
He liked to drink a lot of juice.
He liked to drink a lot of juice.
Singing oh way oh.
Singing oh way oh.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Singing oh way oh.
Singing oh way oh.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
The moose's name was Fred.
The moose's name was Fred.
He liked to drink his juice in bed.
He liked to drink his juice in bed.
The moose's name was Fred.
The moose's name was Fred.
He liked to drink his juice in bed.
He liked to drink his juice in bed.
Singing oh way oh.
Singing oh way oh.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Singing oh way oh.
Singing oh way oh.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
He drank his juice with care.
He drank his juice with care.
But he spilled some in his hair.
But he spilled some in his hair.
He drank his juice with care.
He drank his juice with care.
But he spilled some in his hair.
But he spilled some in his hair.
Singing oh way oh.
Singing oh way oh.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Singing oh way oh.
Singing oh way oh.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Ba-da 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 ba-da.
Now there's a sticky moose
Now there's a sticky moose,
all covered in juice,
all covered in juice.
and he's on the loose,
And he's on the loose,
singing oh-way-oh,
singing oh-way-oh,
ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da,
ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da,
singing oh-way-oh,
singing oh-way-oh.
ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Okay, this is our last story, and this one's called The Deer and the Crocodiles. And this is how it goes. One morning, Campfire the deer wanted to visit his friend, another deer, who lived on the other side of the river. The two of them would often meet in a place where the river was wide and shallow. But it had rained the night before, and that morning the water was quite high, covering the sand and rocks. And even worse, the water was full of hungry crocodiles. Campfire had an idea. He thought that he could do two things at once: cross the river and play a trick on those hungry crocodiles. He looked around, and then he found a leaf that looked very much like a crown. He picked it up and put it on his head. Then he stood on the shore. "Listen, crocodiles," he shouted. "Attention! Attention, all you crocodiles! I have a royal proclamation from the king. His Majesty has declared that all crocodiles that live in this river must be counted." "Why does he want to count us?" asked the crocodiles. "Because he is going to invite all of you to the palace for a royal feast. And the cook will need to know how much food to prepare for you." The crocodiles looked at Campfire, thinking that he would make a fine feast all by himself. But they did not want to pass up a trip to the royal palace, so they gathered all their friends and relatives. When Campfire saw all those crocodiles splashing and thrashing in the water, he wondered aloud to himself, "How shall I ever be able to count you all? Oh, there are so many of you, and you move about so much." Discontent rumbled through the ranks of reptiles. "Oh, I know," said Campfire. "Why don't you all line up? Make a line from here all the way to the other side of the river. Then I will be able to count you easily." The crocodiles lined up, head to tail, all the way from where Campfire was, all the way to the other side of the river. Then Campfire leapt from crocodile to crocodile, counting as he went. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on until he reached his friend, who was waiting on the other side of the river. Then he paused for a moment to say, "You're receiving your dinner invitation soon. Thank you, goodbye." When the flood was over, Campfire walked cautiously back home to the place where he lived. And as for the crocodiles, well, they are still waiting for their dinner invitation from the king. And that is the end of this story. Thanks everybody for watching Campfire Stories today. I hope that you have some fun telling some stories by your own campfires, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks, bye.